Here are just a couple of examples of how the 3 habits of personal accountability are transforming workplaces, from cultures of blame to cultures of accountability. Example number 1. One day I got a call from a chief operating officer who heard me speak. And he said, "Michael, I gotta learn more about what you teach because this stuff works." He then told me that the previous week he got a call from his CEO, and she was fuming about a serious mistake that she caught in a press release that was written by Jared, the company's new Director of Public Affairs. "Is this the kind of work that we can expect from Jared?" the CEO asked. Well, the chief operating officer knew that Jared was a pretty smart guy, so this didn't really make sense. And he thought, maybe this is a process problem. He took a look and realized there was no process for issuing press releases. So he asked Jared to engineer the solution and create a press release checklist. Problem solved. But most importantly, he said, asking that question, where did the process break down, changed the entire direction of the conversation with the CEO. Instead of discussing whether they had made a hiring mistake, the CEO was actually excited that she didn't have to continue to be the gatekeeper on press releases going forward. Example number 2. Recently, I taught the 3 habits of personal accountability to a construction company. And a project manager there told me that once a week, the general manager leads a team meeting to review the work from the previous week. Usually, when they're discussing things that didn't go well the previous week, the general manager finds somebody to blame. And of course, the person that he blames gets defensive, tries to deflect blame elsewhere, and the meeting usually goes downhill from there. But this project manager said that the very next week after I taught them about the 3 habits of personal accountability, things went very differently. He said, as usual, when they were discussing things that didn't go well, he could see that the general manager was about to launch into attack mode. But then he said, you could actually see him stop, sort of put his head in his hand for a moment, and then he looked up and he said, "This is how I think I contributed to the problem." Just like that, the entire tone of the meeting changed. But here's the really cool part. Other people there began to say, no, boss, it wasn't just your fault. This is how I think I contributed to the problem. And because they didn't waste time trying to figure out who to blame, they were able to quickly diagnose the problem and make sure that that mistake never happened again. The 3 habits of personal accountability are transforming workplaces, and they can transform your workplace.